Good morning, everybody. It's Debbie with the Pickin Coop Farmstead. As you can see, I'm out in my garden this morning. Yesterday, the mister had an eye appointment, so I didn't really get to come out here and do much of anything. I am behind today. My goal is to plant potatoes. Only a couple of those potatoes, I had them under the dark sink there, got a sprouts, but I'm going to plant the other ones anyways because I have that other barrel, but I'm going to plant them whole and we'll just see what we get. They're free. I had them. They're older. They're kind of too late to eat. Store-bought, not organic, but I just don't want to waste them. So that's my goal today out here. And I ordered a couple of different kinds of garlic from MI Gardener. Don't tell the mister. They just sent me an email the other day, day before yesterday, that their garlic was up for sale because I had them send me a reminder. So I ordered two kinds. They're hardneck. And then I think one is like a purple variety and the other one might just be regular white. I don't know the names. I'm sorry. But go check out their website before they're gone. I'll attach their website on there for you. But until they get here, I need to, you're supposed to plant your garlic when you placed your order. They sent you, there was a digital download on walking onions, which those are on their way, and then on garlic, as far as when to plant, when to harvest, when to fertilize, how to plant, all that good stuff. So it says 4 to 6 weeks before your frost. Well, our frost happens next month. As far as the ground freezing really hard, it starts happening towards that. So I think we're just about right now as far as that. So let me show you what I brought out here. I'm hoping to plant some carrots. I think it's kind of late for that, but I want to try. I'm just never giving up on the whole carrot thing. So hold on, let me show you what I got. I have several different varieties of carrots. I've got ox heart, I've got two MI Gardner and Siskiyou seeds of the Oxheart. I got the Royal Chantenay, that's the MI Gardner. Danvers, which is my local lady here, Redwood seeds. And then I also have some MI Gardner Danvers. So I'm going to plant these last to see how far I get. I have a lot of stuff to do today. So I'm going to put that in there. I also want to harvest my pears today. I got all of my uh, grapes put in the freezer. I ended up with 50 pounds of grapes. I can't even believe that. I weighed them all this time, and they are twice the size they used to be, just from I think 3 seasons of knowing what to do. My sister told me how you're supposed to cut them back, like in the middle or end of winter or early spring. So I did towards the end of winter. And those grapes used to be that big. They are now that big. And I got 50 pounds. So that's the most I've ever gotten. Huge, big clusters. It's amazing. I think I did a little video on the first part, but I got them all, the rest of them, the other day. So they're all in the freezer. So they're washed. They're still on the stems. Put them in Ziploc gallon bags. I think I ended up with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 gallons maybe. I don't know, but I'm going to put them in my juicer. I'll do a video on that. I think I've done one already way back when. Um, so anyways, yeah, so I have that to do, not today though. The good thing about putting stuff like tomatoes and different things that you're going to process in the freezer, you can get to it when you can get to it. And I like to do that type of stuff when it starts cooling off, like it's starting to do now, so your kitchen doesn't get so hot. These are the ones I grew from store-bought. I couldn't tell you what kind. I imagine they're hardneck because they're pretty hard. I took the 3 biggest cloves that I grew, and they say to use your uh, largest produce for your seed. So I'm going to take these apart and I'm going to plant these. It's certainly not going to hurt. The more garlic, the better is the way I look at it. So there's my garlic. And then I was kind of stingy with that because I'm like, oh, I want to eat this. I don't want to plant it. Then here's my crummy old potatoes. They're just Idaho potatoes. They're not organic. I think there's 4. I saved 4 because I'm putting 4 for bucket. Only 2 of the 4, like I said, have sprouts. So let's do that first because it's easy and quick. And Johnny's come to visit. All right, come along. Let's do some gardening. All right, guys, I've got my trusty little Dollar Tree trowel and a little shovel. I'm going to break up the dirt, which is still nice and loose from when we dug up our potatoes. And I'm going to get some rocks out if there's any little rocks in there. All right. And I do want to get a little shovelful of my compost. I'll be right back. All right, so I got my little bucket of my compost here. I'm going to break it up. Okay, so I've got 4 potatoes I'm going to put in here. And I'm going to put some of this compost down in the hole. And I'm going to place my potato in there. I'm not going to bury them because this is how I tell where they're at. So I space them out. Ooh, I almost got a worm. I was always worried that worms wouldn't make their way in my buckets, but they do. I drilled pretty good sized holes in the bottom of them for drainage, and I think the worms actually come up in there. All right, 2 more. Here we are. I've had this huge list that I've been compiling in the house. Ooh, there's a little, I don't know what this little worm is. Let me get him so you can see him. One of those little, I don't know if it's a centipede or a grub or what, but he needs to go over there. I don't want him in here. I don't know if he's friend or foe, but we're going to treat him like a bad guy. Ooh, nice little worm. There a rock in there? Yep. We don't want rocks in here. Especially root vegetables. They have a hard time. All right, so we got all our spuds. We're going to put that on top. And I'll just sprinkle a little bit of that. That's a little bit of charcoal. There we go. That's all there is to it. Let me show the other guys that we did a few weeks back. Look at them already. They're just happy little campers. I am going to have to shortly, before it starts getting really cold, I'm going to have to go on another pine straw run. Pine straw is just dried pine needles that fall to the ground. I try to keep the pine cones out of it because the pine cones are way too acidic, but the dried pine needles work fabulous. I've been using them for 3-4 years, and I was so worried about purchasing a mulch that was not treated with all the bad stuff like rice straw. I mean, it was terrible. So I didn't know what to use, and I was really nervous because I didn't want it to kill all my little plants, and I didn't want that in my garden. So I started researching, and I'm like, look at all these people using pine straw. Pine straw, where I live, is in abundance. It's free. It's on the ground. I take my little trailer behind my quad. I rake it all up. I bring it back here, and I just put it around my plants. It is not as biodegradable. I mean, it is, but it doesn't break down as quickly as other mulches, but that's okay. When I go to dig up my plants, holes for my plants the following spring after I put that on there, it's in tiny little pieces. So that tells me it's breaking down. So I'm excited about that. I'm always working on my soil, and I have contemplated buying topsoil and dressing my beds like after the summer's over, all this stuff is gone. But I just, you got to have the dump trailer, you got to pay for that, and then you don't really truly know what you're getting in that soil. So I'm going to do it the old school hard way, and of course it's free, right? All right, come along, let's go on. We're going to water this in really good, but I'm going to wait till I get my garlic done. I could water that too. The soil's really wet out here, but anytime you plant seeds or anything, you want to water things in really good. All right, let's go. Baby, come on, little fella. Okay, so I have this little guy. My sister gave it to me and the handle broke off, but I love these tiny little rakes for going in and out of plants. And I have raked back my existing pine straw. I broke up the dirt with my lovely little trowel. And I'm going to sprinkle some of my compost in here. Then I'm going to work that in the soil, because anytime you pull plants out of your soil, you want to add some more nourishment. All right, so I have my bulb. I'm just going to throw this in here. Waste not, want not. These are nice sized cloves. Look at that. Pointy side goes up. This little rough side that's connected to the bottom part, the root part, that's where your roots are going to grow. So you're going to want to plant these. Let me even this out a little bit. I do a zigzag pattern. I know I've done a video on this before. I'm going to put this as close as I can. There we go. So there's one. And I'll do... I didn't dig this up very good right here. Huh. All right, let's start over. There's one. There's two. 3, 4. And then I'm going to put another one right there. These are about 1.5 to 2 inches apart. I'd say more like 2. And then I'm going to go in between on the next row. This way it gives your bulbs a good chance to bulb up and be larger. All right, so then I'm going to come back and align with the first row. All right, so then you're going to put pointy side up. Oh, this smells good. I want to make sure my camera's running. I got my microphone on. I did a video the other day. It was a really good video. I think it was yesterday on, this needs to be a little deeper. There we go. Depth. Twice as wide as your seed is the depth that it's supposed to go. And that's a rule of thumb for almost any seed. My potatoes probably could have been a little deeper since they were large potatoes. I can always add more dirt to those. And you just keep on going till all your little holes, and like I said, I don't bury them until I have them all in there. and that's simply for placement. Okay, let me go grab the other ones. I'll finish this up and we'll go to the next step. Okay, Simple Simon. So we've got all our garlics in here. I think I used 2 heads, maybe 3. I can't remember now. I brought 3 out here, but we are out of room. So now I'm just covering up my little holes that I just made and put my little garlics in. Now this goes for my bush beans. They're right here, right up against my garlic. All right, so now what I will do is put a marker here. That way I know, do not plant anything there. I have garlic. This I'm going to put, what am I going to put? 2025 garlic seed, I guess is what I'll put. That way I know that this is my garlic that I planted, that I grew. And then when I get my gardener stuff, when I plant that, I'll put what variety it is. And then I'll know which variety or which garlic is which and which I like best to keep growing next time. All right, I've got my little marker in here. It says my garlic. And then I have all this pine straw, but I'm going to wait until these sprout and they get about a couple inches tall, and then I will gently put that back around. That way they'll be protected throughout the winter. Okay, so I got some calendula. There's a little in my basket over there. I got my cleansed and spineless. I have a few of these that are gotten too big, so they're going to go to seed. Shishito peppers and a tomatillo. Woo woo. I did have to pick my black from Tula. They're splitting. I haven't been using my sprinkler, but it has rained for like the last 3 nights after being irrigated. So I'm like, oh, so I'm going to pick these guys and we'll take them in the house. I just checked my parsnips. No action on the parsnips. I'm pretty sure I planted them the wrong time of the year. I'm going to have to do a lot more research on those guys. Got a few of these lovely blush tomatoes. They're not quite ready. There's one that is split. I might just eat it. I don't even care. I got some Ford Hook green pole beans. And I'm going to grab my other little bucket. These are Oregon Spring. I'm afraid they're starting to split because of all the excess water. So I'm going to pick these, put them on the counter till they ripen a little more, and then I'll add them to my bags of frozen tomatoes to process later. More Oregon Springs. I'm telling you, if you've never grown these, you need to. The Oregon Spring and the Mortgage Lifters have done super, super well for me. And the tomatillos just keep going crazy here. More tomatillos, more tomatoes. These are all the Mortgage Lifter guys. I think that one might be tomato paste. I think we're supposed to get more rain tonight. More green beans. These are those market pole beans that are doing so well. They're taking over everything. Between that and my little cucamelon, it's a crazy mess over here. Okay, I got another yard long bean, oriental yard long, a little zucchini. And this one, I think, what are these? These are something I've been wanting to grow for a long time. Oh, I can't read from there. My back's starting to get really sore. Brandywine. These are brandywine, but it needs a lot more ripening, but it's starting to get a little crack in it. That's a little, whatchamacallit, and more green beans. So I might have enough here to make a pint jar of dilly beans. If I do, I might do a little video on that. I can't remember if I've done one or not, because that sounds kind of good. I'll just do them in the refrigerator. And I think that's all I have for you today. I'm going to get crack-a-lackin'. I'm going to see if I could reach some of these pears behind me. The cows are very clever. I don't know how they can reach that high, but they do. So I don't know if I want to venture getting on a ladder when the hubby's not home or not, you know. Well, I need to pick them though, and I would like to get them juicing. So I might save that project for the weekend. Excuse me, but I don't want them to get too ripe. All right, folks, since we're going to sign off, I hope the sun is shining where you are. I hope you're happy, healthy, safe. God bless you all, and thank you so much for following, sharing, watching, commenting, all that good stuff, subscribing. It's been an incredible journey so far. Happy gardening. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.